Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. That's a heavy one there by Anthony B. You all know always when I'm in the studio, I'm sure, apart from it switching dramatically from some really nice gospel as well. But gospel in a different sense, the positive vibrations and the positive music we used to hear so often. My generation would have grown up with a bit of reggae, right? The Sizzler, the Anthony B, the Capleton, etc. And the wise words and the moral and spiritual guidance that they used to constantly produce through music. I think there are new people who sing that type of music, but predominantly now everybody is chasing behind Hollywood, if you want to call it that, or the big corporations and their money, and you have to fit a certain mold. They encourage a certain type of not just music here, but obviously now it is audio visual, right? No longer do they just serve you music, right? It is about visuals as well. And of course 91.9 FM pioneering in that line as well. So we are constantly streaming on social media because that's the direction that it is going now. And the visuals that they want to promote now are just as negative or even more negative than the sound. It carries you in a certain direction. And that's why we say that for that reason and other reasons as well, that is systemic, right? As Anthony B speaks about, nobody want to plant the corn, everybody want to raid the barn. We are conscious enough in our historical knowledge and even our present consciousness to know who are the raiders, right? To know who set that example of raiding. When your economics does not work in the sense that you have already set the system for you to win, right? You're printing money, you're doing what you want, right? And your productivity, that's the word I really want to get to today. Good morning and blessings to everyone. All praises due to the Creator for a new day. But you see that word productivity, that's the word I want to center around today. When your productivity cannot match others, then you want to resort to violence, to plundering, to raiding the barn. And, we have that consciousness as a people. We are aware enough. We are aware enough to understand. We are aware enough to see what has transpired in the past and understand what is still being done now. And even if we're in a difficult position, like we saying yesterday, even if we find ourselves in a position of vulnerability, of weakness, we hold on to that consciousness and we work towards coming out of that position. So you see people being tremendously productive around the world. Right? You can't beat the Chinese, you can't beat the Indians, you can't beat certain people within the world in the production of certain things. You can't beat the Japanese for productivity. And when you can't beat them for productivity, you just try to take advantage in other ways. You try to raid the barn Sometimes you set one against the next, right? You arbitrarily, without proper reason, totally in contravention of the spirit of free trade, and a global unifying of the world. You take measures, you take fiscal measures that are to your benefit, and you back that, not with morality and with truth or with some proper reasoning. You back it with might. So it just really signals, it signals profound ignorance in the world. It really gives you wrong notion. It really is contrary to those principles of moral grounding and mutual respect that many of us would like to see within the world. But in the context of us, of Trinidad and Tobago, we must understand the critical importance of productivity, right? Not of raiding or getting or whatever without that sweat. And Anthony B speaks about that pride when you achieve. That pride, that feeling that is critical to a human being, that sweat and achieving, that is critical to the psyche of the human being. And when you deprive yourself, because a lot of times, sometimes we deprive ourselves, when we deprive ourselves of that effort, of that beautiful bead of sweat that run down our face, that is cool, right? It has there's a human mechanism, physiologically that is in us, that cool your body. And when we deprive ourselves of that, we diminish ourselves as human beings. And way too often we follow that terrible example of doing the least, doing the absolute least, but expecting and wanting the most. If there's anything that can be pinpointed as extremely destructive, I pinpoint that attitude and that culture. We have to work. Somehow we have to reshape that culture. Because it is in tune with ourselves. It is in tune with what we are supposed to be, and even our physical structure, our spiritual structure, our social connectivity is improved when we become productive members of a society. Spiritually, there is no better meal than the meal that you earn from your hands, from your work. Spiritually, by the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt eat bread. But that culture, boy, that culture where we in these spaces and we're not trying to give our best. And then the whole thing crashes because there's a selfishness that is destructive to self. There's a laziness sometimes, if you want to call it that, a laziness that will see you destroy your own self. And I know we could relate physically. You become overweight, you're unable to move the way that you should move, you become sick, you destroy your own self. It is only so long that anything, any entity can sustain unproductivity. It's only so long. Like, we are blessed as a nation, so we have, these inflows of capital from our gas and our oil, which is diminishing in certain ways, which has ups and downs as well, which is a non-renewable resource and eventually will not be there for us. It is only so long we could sustain unproductivity. We have a early one, so we're taking it. Good morning, my brother. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Boy, Farid, I don't want to change the tone of your program, but something happened to me yesterday that I just want to bring on air. And I want especially older people who driving on the road to hear this. Yesterday I went to St. James to get a part for my car. So, Maturas is like opposite to KFC down in St. James, right?
Yeah, man, I know it is. Yeah, I know where Maturas is.
Right, right. So, I stopped right by KFC in the middle of the road, and a driver gave me a light to cross over. I cross over to Matura and Park. One of these people with Jack Warner open a way for not school crossing.
Yeah, one of the traffic wardens.
Traffic warden. Yeah. I park over the road looking to go in my Matura against this path. This woman come walking down to me, walk up to me and ask me if I have what intensive driving skill. So I asked you, well, what do you mean? She see I just leave from one side of the road and come across on the road and park. And I can get 3 tickets. So I asked her, I said, what are you talking about? She said, but you just stop in the road and just cross over just so and park. I said, no, that is not what you thought. She's saying that she see that. I said, you didn't see that. I said, I stopped. I had on my indicator for crossing. I stopped and the car in the opposite direction gave a light. So I was able to cross over and park. I said, I'm going right here to get a park. Oh, you're not supposed to be parking here. And what? It happened now. Listen to this thing now. It have 2 lines in the road. This is a new thing I see. We never had that when I went for my driving permit. We never had that. They have 2 lines. They have a space in between the 2 lines about 6 inches apart. It had 2 solid lines. You're not supposed to cross over that line. I know about 1 solid line where you're supposed to overtake and in my time. But this is a new thing. And the bonus place I saw that line because I checked after leaving was in St. James, down on that side. I didn't see that line nowhere else. Anyway, she said to me that I had 2 options. Either I get 3 tickets or I go back over the road, make a block, and come back and park in the same space that I was, if it's available.
Yeah, facing the direction in which you was flowing.
Yeah. So I say, look, you see, I ain't fighting no talk wherever she say, that is it, leave it like that. So then again, we end up you know, she end up being telling me to pay a warning on the system. Well, we don't know where is that. First time I hear about that one. So I, being a law-abiding citizen, leave and gone across by the police station in St. James to find out, well, wait, if I wrong, if I break the law, wherever it is. And the officer will explain to me that if you're going west, you could park on the western side, facing west. But if you're going east, like if you're coming back to town, like how I cross over to go by Matura, the car was facing west. You can't park like that. You have to park with the car facing the direction that you're going. So like I park on the eastern side and the car facing west, the car was supposed to be facing east.
Yeah, yeah.
But that, you know, I find that so stupid. I never know nothing about that. I custom driving. If I go along there, you could cross the road and park. I don't know what kind of stupid thing is that.
Yeah.
And then tell me about give me a warning, putting up a warning on me on the system. So where is that about? Explain to me where is that about? And if that's staying for how long it's staying there for, or if there is an alternative to the merit points. I want to know because I don't understand. And then again, you do another thing too with these people. They have no respect. They don't know how to speak to people. And there's not the first encounter with them. You know, I had one in the airport the other day, but I ain't going through that again. But yeah. I vex Jack Warner right now for opening that position for them I vex he should never do that. I set a square peg and wrong hole. I get fed up at train, I don't know. I fed up at you right now, to be serious. I said that imps we have working out here. And as you put power in the hand, especially black people, as you put power in the hand, like they just abuse it. Yeah. So I just want to bring that out. So the older drivers, please, all you pay attention to that because like that is a new thing to bring out there. I don't know about it, I never see it, but I went for my license. It was never part of the regulation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Older drivers,
yeah.
Look out for it.
All right, thanks.
Have a blessed morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably just mention the reasoning and stuff behind it, but it is something relatively new. So I want us to keep that notion in mind, right? Productivity, as we take the break and we come back for the next hour. Blessings.
Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes. Free entry and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes.
The #1 bookstore in Trinidad is having the biggest back-to-school sale for the holidays.
Shop at Charon's Bookstore for the biggest back-to-school sale.
All your kindergarten, preschool,
primary, secondary school,
and tertiary education supplies at ridiculously low prices. Charon's also carries a wide range of sneakers, socks, t-shirts, vests for girls and boys,
and much more items for school. So don't miss Charon's back-to-school sale.
Now on Eastern Main Road, San Juan, Tunapuna.
2 locations at Trin City Mall, ground level and first level. We're also open on Sundays from 8 a.m. Check us on Facebook for up-to-date info and promotions. Also, message us for a quick response.
I love you.
The Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches, together with national cultural icon Mr. William Monroe, presents the first ever national concert of choirs, Divine Harmonies, Saturday, December 6, 2025, at the Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Choirs will be competing for prize money to the tune of $250,000, with the winner walking away with the grand prize of $100,000. We we invite all church choirs nationwide to participate in this spiritual, cultural, and musical richness that will bring upliftment to our nation and redound to the glory of God. Tickets will be available August 15 from Maranatha Bookstore and outlets of the Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches. For more information, call 719-9599 or 497-0361. Divine Harmonies, ushering in the glory of God. This is Apostle Anthony Golson, and I'm inviting you to be there.
Don't miss the biggest price meltdown at Furniture Plus this summer. Shop dining room sets from $15.99, bedroom combos from $20.69, plus free delivery with select living room furniture. Shop the best deals at Furniture Plus today.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Here my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The presence of oxygen is...
The time is 7 a.m. This time check is sponsored by Nescafe Ready to Drink. It just hits different.
Any playlist right, it hits different. Can you feel that shift? Nescafe Ready to Drink. On the road, we on the go. Just grab your crew and grab your boo. Hits different, hits different. Vanilla latte mocha. It's different. Nescafe, the party never over.
Nescafe Ready to Drink.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. So funny enough, the caller would have mentioned Jack Warner, and he's not a bad example in the sense of productivity, right? So I could use him because I think we may have seen in the news a couple days ago, I think it's about a week, that he had done his PhD at the age of 82. right? If I correct the age, so unbelievable. I'm wondering if I'm saying the right thing. And I mean, for his age as well, the level of work that he does as well. You know, I remember not too long ago going to see him, and is from meeting into meeting, and a meeting waiting afterwards. All the while, obviously, doing this PhD as well at that age, and being productive to the extent at that age, finding purpose in producing, in providing, in connecting. I mean, what could be better for your intrinsic motivation as a human being to live? And we have to move to a position of productivity. We have to move to a position where we are not comfortable just being there. It is not about just getting paid. It is about performing in a manner in which you deserve what you're being paid, and even more. It is a cultural shift where you want to be so just and fair that you want to give more than you receive. I don't know if I'm making sense. It might have some people saying, boy, we talking about, because it is almost contrary to some of the continuous actions that we have. And I'm telling you that countries and nations that prosper, it is because of that attitude and that mentality. Mediocrity and just holding space, wasting time is not encouraged. Is not the standard of those societies. But it seems as though for us in many cases, that's a standard sometimes. I went to DHL, and this is why some of the companies that are managed from the United States and other places that are existing in Trinidad and Tobago, they do well, because the supervisors, the culture that is pushed within those organizations is not the sit down and waste time and check the clock and can't wait for it to done. It is not that. So I met a Trinidadian, who's the same Trinidadian, but productive, helpful, know what he doing, and got it done. We had to get things done. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Abubakar.
Morning.
Yeah, Mr. Abubakar. I know you spoke about Jack Warner. Jack Warner, he's a special kind of case, Jack Warner, I remember Jack Warner. Jack Warner was, two people know that Jack Warner is really a scholar, Jack Warner used to teach at Polytechnic, A-level and all that. I remember Jack Warner at UWE, he has a degree. He did a master's, MBA and all that. So he's no person to be brushed away. Apart from that, if you look at his achievements in terms of probably in football, if you look at his football in terms of his reputation and his achievement in terms of being involved in politics, and more especially being a minister of government, any ministry that you did put him in, he performed. And he performed excellently. So I agree with you. And I think that people can take a page out of his book in terms of his, again, as you said, his productivity, in terms of his age and all that kind of thing, and his commitment to excellence. Right? So I support what you have said recently. But Mr. Abubakar, I don't want to detract from your what you're saying, eh? What I want, there's a gentleman who called sometime last week with respect to water in some area in Carnage. And that call, and I could give him a little advice. Mobilize the people in your area there who lack water and a continuous supply of water. And you people form a little group, and when you don't have water, you call the necessary authority. Where is the councillor for your area? Where is the parliamentary representative for your area? Where is the mayor for Diego Martin? Have you seen them since election? You understand what I'm saying? So so you may be devoid of representation, and you people have to get up. And the thing about it is, I suspect, is that the people, the turncock, and those people who are charged with the responsibility of the distribution of water to different areas in that constituency, they are very inefficient, they're very lackadaisical, they're not performing their duties effectively. Because I suspect that the water is coming from Shagarana, Stocker Valley, sometimes the pump breaks down and that kind of thing, no electricity. But you have to involve yourself in the process of getting service. You can't sit back and just call this. You people have to organize. You don't have a community council there. You don't have a little group of people where you seek to empower yourself and that kind of thing. Get activities going in your community and all that. You need to establish that. Before I leave, Mr. Abubakar, something I want to understand, because I'm hearing so much about this American warship, and I want to know, was there some status of forces agreement with Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, you're asking a question, and you know the answer.
Huh?
I see you're asking a question for Trinidad and Tobago because I feel you know the answer. But yes.
Yes, and what this agreement entails? Mr. Abubakar, I know you won't answer that. But the fact remains is that was renewed, that agreement was renewed, I think, sometime last year and sometime early this year by the now opposition. And what it means is that it entails to a large extent is that the American people could just land in Trinidad and go to any country in Latin America to do what they want to do. And that was signed by the last government. So you're lighting fire and you're running outside and bawling fire. And don't tell me that, because in fact it had expired and you were in a position not to renew it, but you renewed it. It was under the last government that the Americans decided to build a $400 million state-of-the-art embassy that takes into account, you know what goes in there. And it was published all over the place and was under them. So when I see people running all about the place and talking about who bringing this and who American, you give them the authority to use Trinidad as a launch pad. If they want to get in, you sign that agreement. And this is why yesterday I told you, if you breach that agreement and you don't want to support them, you're in trouble. Because I'm saying you depend on investment from America. You have that Exxon, you have possible people who may invest there. You have that oil refinery that you want to get started once again. I said it, I don't want to be repetitious. But you started that. And if you want capital and you want investment, that could be stymied. So I'm saying that those people are running, and I don't know if Avery Brown was in fact the foreign minister at the time. I don't know. But they gave the permission for America if they want to go and take out Maduro in Venezuela. They gave them the all clear. So people don't be fooled by those people masquerading and gallivanting all over the place. They're making themselves a fool. Thank you, Mr. Abubakar.
Yeah, thank you very much. And of course, when that that arrangement was being signed, there were questions about additional clauses, but of course it was not made public to us. And we still wondering what are the additional clauses that were added into that new arrangement between us and the United States in terms of their armed forces and them, the way that they function on our territory. We have moved past that particular topic, although I know that people are still discussing it in the public space because obviously it is of concern to us. We as a nation obviously want to stay in a place where we have peace, especially within our small, vulnerable region. We know the destruction that can come with war, and we know that we have little benefit or interest in such a matter. So, you know, and the discussions continue, but we make our earnest prayer, right, and we appeal to all involved, you know, for a certain level of calm and level-headedness. We absolutely, as a people, as a small twin island republic with little ability to defend ourselves, etc., we absolutely don't want that level of conflict on our shores, right? Where Trinidad ends, Venezuela begins. So it will definitely have an impact, and it is scary, and some people are concerned in a very serious manner as well about the impact of some type of war or military conflict between America and Venezuela, and rightfully so. So productivity is essential for us as a nation, right? In terms of productivity, as the caller raised, I just drew the example out of Jack Warner because he mentioned traffic wardens. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning, welcome.
Why are we upset with the traffic wardens for doing the job?
Yeah. I have to say that that's the law. It is something probably new to some people, and it was new to me when I would have experienced that direction from the traffic wardens. He actually lucky because they just warn him, which is a bit reasonable as well. So I'm vexed with them, but it does pose a risk when you try to cross over
a solid white line.
Yeah. Well, it's a double line now. It's something.
Right. That is the law. That is the law yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You are older individual.
It is not the law yesterday.
But you are accustomed to that law for some time, like over 5 years.
You hear what I'm saying for you? That is the law from ever since.
Okay. I think maybe because it was never enforced.
A solid white line or two solid white lines, you're not supposed to cross that.
Right. I think it's because it was not enforced in St. James in terms of parking for a very, very long period of time.
No, it was every single morning for the past 2 years. I've been up, not 2 years, probably more than, yes, for 2 years, and probably even, yeah. They brought them out, and people would, there are signs. Even the establishment that you're going to is supposed to tell you when you're coming out of it, because you're putting other people's life in danger because you are crossing the road onto oncoming vehicle. It's common sense.
Yeah. So it's been enforced recently. So
productivity. So here what I see going on here between Venezuela and America. Here what our Prime Minister said to us, that they are here to stop. Here what America said to us, they are coming here for narco traffickers. And she is saying to us, if they touch 1 year on Guyana, they could land here and put up a base here and leave. And I'm saying, but wait now. We fought for independence, 1962. We're already 60-something years of independence. I got rid of them, put them out of Shagaramas, put them out of, to invite them back to tell me that they're coming here for narco trafficking around the Caribbean. When I had 2 marine vessels coming here, what did I call them? What Mr. Manning I call them? Oh God, I forget what I call them. But anyhow.
OPVs or something?
OPVs, we was purchasing 2, or we purchased, that was, we already paid and was waiting, and because of the companies slowdown, they decided, well, they want to give it back with money, and whenever they break the contract, they're going to add on things to the vessel. You know that? That was part of the arrangement, you know. So if we did come with a 200 horsepower motor, and because the delay in building the vessel, we could end up with a 300. And if it had come with a 10mm gun, we could end up with a 20. Right, but anyhow. So I was bringing these vessels here to patrol the Caribbean from Trinidad all the way up the road. And the idea was, one CARICOM, we was going to use Coast Guard vesselsmen or sailors from St. Vincent, Grenada, Barbados. So every so often the vessel most likely would have been able to dock in Barbados, pick up a few Barbadian soldiers, come back to Trinidad, change Trinidad crew. You understand what I'm saying? That was the idea. That's why we buy 2. So when one docking, one outside. And with choppers and small vessels capability of launching. So Trump would not have come here, but they tell me, no, Mr. Manning, mad. When them get into office, they tell me, we don't want them vessels because the war is on the land, not on the sea. Today, after telling them for how many years, that is where the drugs and guns come from, Latin America. I had a summit the other day, and them telling me, no. Mexico launched a summit with America to tell them about the amount of guns that come in from America to Trinidad join along, or the CARICOM join along with that, and we had the summit here. The same people that in office tell me that it makes sense, we spend how much $1 million, I don't know what we get from it. But today, I give up my independence to let Massa come back here to do the work that I was doing to look over me. That is being independence. That's why I could see we in celebrating independence. So this morning you telling me to work hard now. Well, I was telling all of us all of that long time. So who's really Massa, boy?
Yeah.
Enjoy your morning.
Thank you very much for your opinion, man. Blessings. Yeah, so we want to encourage the type of productivity that will free yourself. Right? If you engage in an attitude that is not productive, it only keeps down your own self. It destroys whatever organization you're part of, and it will lead eventually to your detriment, because it is only so long that you can milk a cow without feeding it, without putting back into it. And paramount in my understanding of the progression of Trinidad and Tobago is the understanding that we must become more productive. I was speaking to a colleague yesterday, and we laughing about it, but thing to laugh sometimes is also thing to cry, because the level of skillful dodging that I saying we, not me, but I saying we as a people, put into avoiding doing what we can do. Sometimes we employ energy into finding creative reasons why we can't do something when it is easier to just do it. And we must move away from that culture. We must take that pride. If we have a goal in front of us, we have a task in front of us, we should be trying to complete the task in the shortest period of time to the best that we can complete it, so that we could take pride in what we do, and so that we could also encourage those who we work with. Because you don't have to look at it as though you work for and the hierarchical system so much, but you work with your supervisor. You make him look good. I have had many an occasion where, my workers, because I'm involved in business as well, I say, boy, I appreciate what you do because you make me look good. Sometimes you have a little shortcoming in an oversight or something, and your colleague or your subordinate, your worker, whoever, without even you having to instruct, ensures that is covered. Oh gosh. That is what drives countries forward. That is what drives people forward. That is the attitude that people, like any employer, looks for. To beg you to be part of their team. Morning, Prezi, welcome.
Morning. Imam, morning, Trinidad and Tobago, morning, God. Morning, existence, oh God, truth. Imam, I just hear a little conversation just now there from, well, I don't call people name too much, but from Bath area. And it makes so much sense, eh? And let us put things together, and he makes so much sense. Because I keep on asking Trinidadian and Tobagonian a long time ago, do we really understand what is independence, to say that we independents come out from colonialism? To imagine that, okay, as a slave master, America, England, all of them are slave masters too. And really and truly, when we have to take consignments from places like America to come do things and end up, because that was our problem last year. I remember that. Sometimes things come back to you. That you're encouraging Massa to come to overrule you in your sovereign state. And then we look in our situation nowadays that we turning back to tell Massa, do come around with sovereign state to do certain things. Are we mad? It has simple psychological state that when you look at it, we foolish in many ways. If we can't come out of that, we go always still stay that subordinate situation on a system. And then look, because what we teach it, and some people change it. Because I'm watching, even after this generation we have here, who know not. And I say they know not because in my respect, they even don't want to know, don't care to know, because they don't care to understand really follow up this system where the seeing also is a hypocrite system of the elder. And I observing the children of them today, they don't care to work. They rather to do any place where they can get money because they don't care to work for the system. And you guys are who fortunate as many who are. And I asking we say, really, if we're going come out of this and get better? Or are we just mad following a massa system? I said, I'm listening to this just now, man. I could say that you're trying the best that you think you're trying to raise people's consciousness, awareness, and productivity and how to live. And I watch in a society around here who plenty of them and say no benefit out of this system, especially. They're not highly academically educated. So, and they're being looked down to do menial job to live, but in many cases can't get plenty who come out with certificate, not of creative consciousness, but on an academic level to work for industries rather than to able to create an industry. This brother without a certificate in his head, without total academic consciousness about that consciousness. How much educated people that talk these things? Are they not just false, encouraging slavery? I go pause and laugh too much to continue. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, who could change it? How could it change? We have a society out here right now frustrated, and believe me, I'm going to this.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
That's frustrated.
Yeah. And I agree with you. The frustration exists within our society. We have been frustrated, many of us, and we are trying to move to a place where we can achieve more, where we can open our economy in a way that we can employ more. All right, so blessings. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, brother. Welcome.
You know, I hear a politician, a PNM politician, say once, and it always goes with me. You say, that is defeat a sort young country now. You say, if I had to serve my God, I cannot be in politics. You say, if I had to serve my God, I cannot be in politics. So I said, I study. Because you have to lie for your friend. You have to see corruption and turn your face for your under the grip. And I want to be a minister. I want to walk in the office on mornings. You say, good morning, minister. Good morning, boss. Coffee, orange juice, or clean water. We have some apple for the grapes. In the office, they have bathroom. They have bed to go and rest. They have a person come to ask them with their tea. A person come to ask them with their food. There's somebody by the door waiting to take the bag. If I serve my God, if I could serve my God, I cannot be in politics. Because politics are dirty game. Politics is a nasty, filthy game. This morning, I don't know if you hear the interview with the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And her stand again was she's not apologizing for a statement. And she go on to say that 4 Caribbean countries take position before her by supporting Venezuela and condemning America. And it's so simple because it's common sense. If I call in to say things about America, common sense will tell you I have a favor. I'm more leaning on Venezuela side than American side. People say it's not side effective, but your words and what it's said, it seems or it was sung, but we know it's side effect. Common sense local sense, but I will say it as politically correct. It seems I had to laugh like President Village because it gives it mindset, gives it misleading it. So now you know as an individual, you know, because you have to know which one right and which one wrong. And when you decide or pick your side or want to say that you speak it independent by saying AB. Today, CARICOM do not speak for Trinidad and Tobago. They do not speak for us. Our Prime Minister speaks for Trinidad and Tobago. What her policy is that what we have to follow in the next 5 years? As she said in the interview, this sheer agenda is putting Trinidad and Tobago first. So we know, I know, my country could stand alone. We do not need the CARICOM for nothing. We could stand alone, but many of our products is on the shelves. They're buying our sand, they're buying our cement, they're buying our blocks. Thanks, facts. They're buying us. They need us. The CARICOM need us more than we need them. So the stand give her a chance to see, because let me be real. I put country first. I called in here many days ago and condemned my government for closing down CTEC. I condemn them. I don't play games, you know. And today, I might be leaning on the government side because of the policy and what the agenda on this topic. If tomorrow topic raised and it is not healthy with me, because you, Baka, cannot tell me what's healthy for me. Nobody could tell me what is for me. I have to know, analyze, and pick my choice. And if it's wrong, so it may be at going down with the ship. If it's wrong, it's my choice.
You have to listen to everybody.
Yes, it's everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And then you formulate.
It's everybody. Right. And if I see everybody and I come up to a point and it's not like the multitude, I don't have a problem with that. I go down with the ship. And that is it. Right now, we have a Prime Minister who is supporting America. And if you're against that, you have to go on the opposition side. You have to support Bartari and then the PNM callers, because that is the agenda. I am supporting on this issue here. I am supporting the government.
We're saying no. I don't agree with that at all. There are many people. Hear what I'm telling you. There are many people who support the Prime Minister on almost all of her positions. But there are some of the positions that she takes that we may not agree with, and that is natural.
And I agree with it.
But that does not mean, understand clearly, it does not mean that you don't support the Prime Minister or this government. Worse yet, that you support that what exists as an opposition. But you try on points to be objective as possible. And we as well, just the same way you say you disagree on certain things, we as well will try to formulate what is best for Trinidad and Tobago. So it's simple, you know.
Big brother, that is why me and you are on the same page. No doubt about it, you know. We is
full respect as well. Listen, once somebody comes respectfully with a different view, we welcome that, because it gives us the ability to now think about a different perspective. Listen, now you may have a position, Kingsley, right? You may have a position now, but after you listen to something or you do some research, it is possible that your opinion and your position will change. We're big people. We're not fools.
Yep. Because they said in the last 5 years, in the last 9 years, the PM supporters agree with everything. The main activists of them, the main talk shows of them, they agree with everything. We in the UNC do not agree with everything. We just bring down the party. We just go against things that happen in the party, and we just talk out. We do not talk party politics. In the PNM, they talk party politics. That is why they lost 26 to 13 seats, because they talk party politics. They wouldn't tell Rowdy or Penny now, hey, what they're going down is going down wrong. But I'm saying it here to you today. If today, tomorrow, that I find Kamala says something out of Simon, you're going to hear me, and she's going to hear me too. Only because I do not play games. I am a serious African black man. I do not play games. I know I come from the ghetto. I learn to observe first and analyze and know scene before it happened. This is what I come from the ghetto. So I understand. So I wouldn't play games with my community. I wouldn't play games with my black people. I would never serve my black people. But some of our black people is selling out themselves. Be okay. We have to understand this, my brother, as I close now. We have none of us cannot run this country. And we have a prime minister running this country for the next 4 years. And yes, me and you will come out and say we disagree with Kamala Harris. But many of them who in the UNC also, who is fanatics like the PNM, everything Kamala say, they will support. Everything Kamala say in the next 5 years, I surety Kingsley will support. I will get licks for it. They will call me all kind of names. They will say I Kingsley goes again. But people who know me, many people who know me in this business, they know where I stand and they know where I go, because I am not living in the house. I am not a Negro. Nobody could call me a Negro. No Indian could call me a Negro. I'm an African man. I'm a black by skin, but I'm an African. Because the other day I tell you that I say you are a black person, but he's an East Indian, the ethnic is Indian, but his skin is black. Me black, but I'm African. My ethnic is African. So when people say that, I say, hey, no Indian. I say you are a black man, but you hear there's differences are Indian. The ethnic is different. So all we black. But if I'm an African, and I'm proud to be an African, I wouldn't change my skin for nobody. I wouldn't change my culture or my thing for nobody. But I have a point of view as a young man in this country. I'm the youngest person back who calling on current affairs radio station. I'm the youngest person. After 9 years, 10 years, I am the youngest person still calling on current affairs, because I do not listen to urban station, Boom Champion. I do not listen to that. During the day, right, I don't know, I go on our next talk show program. Lunchtime, our next talk show program. In the evening, our next talk show program. I don't listen to R&B and then urban station, and then, because my mind has to be set. If I want to listen to music, I go on YouTube and I download the music what I like to listen to. So, my brother, we stay focused on God.
Yeah, man, blessings.
And we have to fight for our community. We cannot fight for international and American and things. We need to fight for Laventille, Peter, Steelot, Caronage, Enterprise, Comforted. Our areas we have to fight for. It's not American but it's with that thing. It's very emotional. But once we think about fighting for our community, we can be more united on that. Bread and butter, making sure that our community don't get left out.
Yeah.
In the next 4 to 5 years under the government, because there's people in the government will turn the back on our community, and we have to make sure that we is watchdog. That if we see that Kuva and Shabona and Pinal getting something, we have to ask what about Lavante too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, blessings, brother.
My brother.
Yeah. Welcome, caller. Good morning. Sorry about that.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. You know I just listen up.
Yeah, I know you locked on all the time. Thank you very much.
All the time. And I just give me 2 cents too. I mightn't be right all the time, but I just give me 2 cents too.
Of course.
Now, I agree with Kingsley. I'm telling you this morning. I do not know Kingsley. And Kingsley do not know me. I old. But I'm telling you this. When you hear UNC do something and he was an activist, and they say something, or if it's anything, Kingsley coming out for them. He's a man like that, you know. So I agree with him, and I don't know him, but I always like his contribution. Because I'll tell you something, whether it is UNC or PNM or who, if your contribution is good, and it is good for the future, the people, the children in the country, well then everybody, I would like it. Now, I want to talk about Kamala and we government. Now, people have to understand what Kamala said. She said that she didn't tell Trump to go in and Venezuela, you know. And I'm so glad he could have catch Maduro for what Maduro do to people in this country. I'm glad, you know. Now, she said one thing people don't understand English. In 9 years, Raul David one thing, camera, UNC government. You go, man. Don't push your mouth in the UNC business now. You couldn't govern. You have this country. Look at a young girl in the car. Yet knocked down, I'm gone down. What if you have this country like this, or the PNM, and you is the leader? What you want to talk now? What advice you could give when you carry a country down to this? And tell people, eat cassava, tighten your belt, 2025 going to be hard, 2025 till 2027 going to be so hard. I was old. Then you go tell people, property tax. Then you're telling people if they have $25,000 in the bank to carry their pension, then you're saying water rate and light bill go rate. What it is, the PNM really want to talk now. Well, we should come back. People don't want to hear your voice. No, Clara said this. She's not supporting America, you know. She's not supporting America. She said this. You have to understand all the political scientists making people understand and they still can't understand. She said that she is not supporting nobody. But if Venezuela go to interfere and attack with Guyana, then she'll give Trump, America, the privilege in her waters. You understand? To defend Guyana. And she's right. Because Rowley and the tiny man run so much from Trinidad to Venezuela. Trinidad to Venezuela. What they do for here? They bring the LC in the COVID. People mustn't forget. And they said they don't know she come. A prime minister didn't know she come, but she was in his office. They continue lying. So we don't have to afraid. We have nothing to fear. One thing, but Bernie Loeb, Becker's MP, and he said, war. We want war. We want war. We want war. You didn't correct him. What are you afraid now? What are you afraid now when New York and people already they want war. And all the balling, we don't afraid Kamala, we afraid Trump. Trump are doing nobody nothing. Trump cleaning up the mess. Biden, Kamala Harris, and Obama leave. But all kind of people in the place, just like how we have the Venezuelans here. You hear? So, and we have to fear nothing. Because it's a lot of countries from the big and say, you want war. So what the PNM said? What are we talking about? Correct your people. I am my children and grandchildren's son. And I will correct it immediately, you know. I don't want to know if he's a doctor or lawyer, who you know. Correct it, keep correcting. Look at this country where it go to. You're not an old person like me. What could you enjoy in this country when you're sitting in your car or you're in your house? They're talking about independent. What is independent? You're in your car, watching a young woman, I cry, no going to live a life. And in the gallery, what is independent in this country? You tell me, son. Not even food to eat. You have to eat cassava.
Yeah.
All right, son. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand your point as well. Right? And of course, there would be a lot of people who are trying to misconstrue what is being said. Would try to inflame whatever comments are being made. We understand the nature of the politics in Trinidad and Tobago. We understand the adversarial nature of the politics. We understand that as much as people could capitalize politically in their view on what has been said, they will try to capitalize. We understand that a statement will be made, and as it moves along, people will add in their words. They will try to convince you that this is what is being said, when in the original form of what was stated, it does not carry that meaning. So let us be responsible, right? Let us understand what is taking place. Let us see past the hypocrisy as well, because there's a lot of hypocrisy that takes place, because a former administration would have allowed the American government and armed forces to do certain things within our territory as well. And then they would come back and state as though it is a major infringement on our independence and our sovereignty, when those very same things are continued. It is the nature of politics, right? So we have to be wise enough as a population to think about the issue and to demand what is best for us. There are points in which our leaders will make mistakes. They may not understand things the same way that the population or a sector of the population may understand things. It may be a contentious issue where there isn't so much just a right and a wrong, you know, but there are different ways to approach a situation. And in their thinking, they may be employing the best perspective to achieve what they want for Trinidad and Tobago. But there may be other mechanisms that can be employed, and the people have the right to speak out, to discuss the issue, and a sensitive government would listen. And that is something that we have seen in the past with our current Prime Minister, that she is willing to listen to the pulse of the people. While I agree with Kingsley that they may have agendas and objectives to try to achieve what they want to achieve in government, also they would take into consideration the perspectives of the population, because they are representative in nature. So they have to be continuously cognizant. They have to be continuously mindful of the thinking and the positioning of the people as well. Right? We don't live in a vacuum. We don't just solidify our own thinking alone without taking in other perspectives. A good leader respects alternative views. A good leader is not one who will silence everybody around, you know. That is the type of leadership which we rejected before. We rejected that. The population rejected a a leader who was extremely autocratic, who was rigid in the sense that he would have silenced you. Right? We had these conversations before. We didn't like that bullying nature that some people described it as. And we do not have that now. As governance, we have someone who is a bit more sensitive, as somebody who is a bit more empathetic, who could understand, but is also solid in what she wants to achieve for her nation. So therefore, as a population, we will discuss issues. As we were trying to discuss productivity, and we ended up a little bit in, this trending topic of the United States and their claim that they're coming to the region. They're probably here by now to fight against narco-terrorism. And our leaders are aware. Don't think they are not aware of the shenanigans, the dishonesty. But we walk a certain road, a certain road at a certain period in time to try to achieve something for our nation, to mitigate the backlash. It's not so much dishonesty, but diplomacy. You get in a court. Oh, right. I was about to take one of our usual callers just at the end there, but he hung up. So let us work as well on our productivity. That was the theme for today. I probably have to go into it tomorrow a little bit further.
Oh, so bad.
We have a minute and a half.
What side you choose? I choose that side, you know?
What choose what side? I'm on the side of what is sensible and what is right. And we encourage the discussion this morning.
Yeah. But nobody listen about war, war is a serious thing, but we ain't choosing no side right now. That's watching the geopolitics.
Repeat that one for me then. We say nobody wins a war?
The game. Nobody wins a war.
All listening to KFC?
And dead bodies, So, while we're very serious, let's walk back and let's take geopolitics. And it really stink and nasty. You know that too. You know how Americans operate. You take your time and reach up safe, but bless.
Yeah, blessings, brother, blessings. Listen carefully to what is taking place in our space, and I thank KSC for those words of wisdom as we close, right? Nobody wins a war, and it is not something that we encourage. And do not try to put it on our leader that is what is being encouraged, right? That is disingenuous as well. The truth benders, those who obviously are trying to do their best to benefit politically from what is taking place in our geopolitical space. We have to be cautious, we have to be sensible, and we have to act in the interest of what is best for our nation as well. And we agree wholeheartedly with that conceptual thinking. Alright, so blessings to everyone. Tomorrow again we will just discuss the productivity that I was going along the lines of. Have a good day.
Shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more.